Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, also known as Fiber Nymph, and today is Monday, April 7th. It is actually not Monday, it's Monday night because you can look out the windows there and see it's very dark. And this whole setup, I don't think you've seen me from this angle before. It's actually 10:51 p.m. I know. What am I doing recording a podcast at 10:51 p.m.? That's an excellent question. Well, let me tell you, like the usual intro stuff, then I'll get into why I'm recording right now. Welcome if you are a new viewer. Oh, excuse me. I'm drinking a beer. I hope I don't burp my way through this podcast. I don't usually drink beer generally at all, but I was in a beer mood tonight. Anyway, okay, so hi. If you're new and this is your first episode, we're in for a fun time together because it's late. And if you're a regular viewer, thank you so much for coming back. You will find show notes with links to everything in the drop-down menu below. I also post my show notes in the Ravelry group under the episode thread, as well as on my Fiber Nymph Dye Works website, which is also where I sell my yarn and fiber that I dye. But in the blog there, you will find show notes as well. If you have questions about anything that I talk about tonight that you don't find linked or in the show notes, otherwise, feel free to leave a comment and I will answer and hopefully be able to tell you what you want to know. I have a membership here on the channel as well, which gives you an extra little bonus video every month. So if you want a little bit of extra fun and to help support my work here on the channel, that would be awesome for you to check that out. You can find that information below as well. And what else? What else do I need to tell you? Oh yeah, if you like what you see, you can click like. If you'd like my new videos when they are ready to pop up onto your feed, then subscribe to the channel and you won't miss one. Okay, so that's my usual intro, more or less. Why am I recording at almost 11 o'clock at night? Well, for one thing, my husband, Bill, is still out of town. He's still on his motorcycle trip. He will be home sometime this week. We aren't really sure when because he had to like reroute and do stuff because of weather. So I'm guessing he'll probably be home Wednesday. That's my guess. Could be Thursday, but I'm guessing probably Wednesday. Anyway, yeah, so he's not home. I don't go to bed early whenever he's not here. I'm more of a night owl when he's not around. So I would be up now anyway. I had a goal to record the podcast, an episode this week, because I don't want to wait much longer since I have prizes to announce for our Choose Your Own Adventure make-along that's going on all this year. So I am going to announce those a little bit later in the podcast at that section. So that's another reason I wanted to record. And I have a lot of stuff going on during the days this week, projects that I have got to get done both work-wise and house-wise. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those later on. But it was like, you know what? I'm awake. I don't really have anything else going on. My kitchen, you don't usually see. Here's my kitchen, part of it. It's fairly clean right now, although I realized my frying pan from dinner is right there. That's the handle sticking out. I didn't wash it yet. I'll tell you about my dinner later because that's actually something I have on my list to talk about. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Just a weird time for me to be recording, but hey, recording is recording, right? Cheers. Let's have a drink of whatever you're drinking. And my beer. Oh. Corona Extra. I'm not a big beer drinker, and usually when I drink beers, I drink IPAs. We don't have any IPAs in the house because Bill does not like IPAs and he is the beer drinker. But for whatever reason, I was in the mood for a beer tonight. All right, so let's see. What else do I want to tell you? My show notes are sitting over here on my computer, so I'm going to be looking over here. more specific announcements about things going on. I had the expanded Inversibles. I introduced those into the shop right after I recorded last time. And I have gotten a bunch of orders for those. So thank you for your enthusiasm on that. The 5 colorways that I showed you last time, they are still up in the shop as die-to-order items. So you can feel free to order whichever ones of those you would like. You have the option to add on like a coordinating mini if you want to. This is not going to be good, me drinking this beer. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking it out of the bottle. Bill drinks beer out of a glass, always. He always asks for a glass when we're out. And there's me. I'm just like, I am a heathen. I will drink it out of the bottle or can. Whatever. Anyway, yes, expanded Inversibles. They are still in the shop. Feel free to check those out if you haven't. And I will get those dyed up for you as soon as possible. I am doing a lot of dyeing right now. I have a show coming up the beginning of June, which I am now starting to dye for. I have club coming up. The second club shipment is coming up at the end of this month. It's the Warm Hug Club. So that shipment is coming up and I'm working on those things. I'm working on pre-orders and die-to-order orders. Die-to-orders. So those things are going on. Matter of fact, I have a whole basement full of yarn that is drying right now for some die-to-order orders that I will hopefully be getting reskeined and shipped out in the next day or two. So if you're waiting for an order, that might be you. And yeah, so very busy. Oh, and gnome stuff. I was dyeing up gnome stuff. We just had last week on Thursday, the April gnome collaboration kits went up for sale on Adornit's website. If you're on my newsletter list, you would have gotten a newsletter about that. So they all sold out, both the ones in stock and the pre-order ones. So those are all gone. So I feel like I'm telling you something you can't get anyway, but just letting you know, that's what I'm working on right now. And in amongst all of that, there will be things going into the shop here and there. I have some new items that I will be dyeing to take with me to my show. And I hope to put those in the shop first for you guys so that you can have a chance at them before they're out there in the wild other places. That said, there is a lot of in-stock stuff in the shop. So if you are looking for something fun to play with, head on over to the shop. And you know, I was thinking about this. I have not done a discount exclusively for podcast viewers in a really long time. I do them for my newsletter subscribers fairly regularly. Sometimes I do them for my members. Sometimes I do them for other social media, but I have not done one for you guys just as my podcast viewers. And I thought maybe I should do one now because it's been a while. So between now, whenever you're seeing this, and the end of the day.
Hi, it's Editing Lisa. It's taking me a little longer to get the podcast edited and uploaded, and so I wanted to extend the date for the coupon for you. So it is now going to be good from this point on through Sunday, April 13th. Originally, I had it as Friday, but now it will be Sunday. And again, the coupon code is podcast, PODCAST, and it's good for 20% off any in-stock items that are in the shop. So just check the in-stock category, and everything you see there is eligible for the 20% off discount now through Sunday, April 13th. Thanks.
You can take 20% off anything that is in stock and ready to ship in the shop by using the coupon code podcast. I am not going to write that in the show notes, and I'm not going to be advertising that anywhere else. It's just for you guys. So that's what it is. Podcast, PODCAST. Podcast will get you 20% off anything that is in the shop currently that is ready to go in stock. And the easiest way to find that is go over to that sidebar on the right-hand side if you're like on a laptop. If you're on your phone, I think you would click on filter and then find where it says in stock. Click in stock, and whatever comes up in there, that is what is eligible for that 20% off with that coupon code. So I hope you will find something that you love. And it's my way of saying thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me here on the podcast, interacting with me in the comments. It's always such a joy to hear from you guys. So anyway, I think that's it for announcements. We're going to jump into the crafting. And I'll be honest with you, there is not a lot because I have been very busy both with work and with house stuff while Bill's been away, which I'm going to tell you about, but crafting I want to tell you about first. So I only have one finished object, and yes, it is yet again another one of these hats that I keep making. This is my current pattern that I'm writing up. This one is knit with 2 strands of my bounce base, one in the sand semi-solid colorway, and the other one is my Luna Moth colorway. This was from the Lepidoptera 2, the second Lepidoptera club. No, that is not correct. It was the first Lepidoptera club because Luna is a moth, and the second one I did all butterflies. Anyway, this colorway is going to be in the shop at some point this spring. This is one of those ones I'm going to be bringing out before I take it to a show. Anyway, I'm not sure if you're seeing it in super well because of the crazy lighting, but it's just a fun, it's such a great Luna Moth colorway. If I think of it, I will put a picture in here of what it looks like just knit up into socks, because I did make myself a pair of socks. I think I have a picture. I hope I do. Anyway, yeah, so I held those 2 together, and I love how holding the semi-solid along with the self-striping just sort of really softens the self-striping. I mean, this is a pretty soft colorway to begin with because of the colors of that moth. But anyway, so this one I actually did a size smaller because I'm still writing the pattern and I wanted to test out and make sure my theory on how the different sizes were going to work actually worked. And it did. That's exciting. But I still used size 5, US 5s and US 6s to make it. And worked out great. So it's just a little bit smaller. I should have brought one of the other ones over here to show you size difference. I didn't. I'll do that at some point. But anyway, because God knows you're going to see another one of those hats eventually. Anyway, yeah, so I am working on finishing up the pattern. Then I will get it tech edited, and then I will be sending it out to test knitters. I did hear from a few of you who were willing to test knit for me. Thank you so very much. I know it took me a while to get back to you, but that's because so much else has been going on. But I did get in touch and let you know that I'm still working on the pattern. If there's anybody else who would like to test knit this hat, it's a super quick knit. I mean, I've already knit them in 2 days. So if you knit hats fast, it's basically a DK weight hat. It should be pretty easy for you. So just email me, lisa@fibernymphdyworks.com if you are interested in test knitting, and I will send you the info. So that is that. And then the only other thing I have is a work in progress, which is another hat, although it's not that actual hat. It's a very plain vanilla kind of hat. Because I needed something easy to work on while I was at a concert this week. I took myself to the Al Stewart concert. It was Livingston Taylor. It was James Taylor's brother. Livingston Taylor and Al Stewart came to Pittsburgh, and they were at City Winery, which is the same venue where the folk music series that we go to every year, that's where they held it last year. So I was really familiar with the venue. Had I not been familiar, or if it had been a bigger venue or like someplace that I didn't know how to get around and where to park and how things worked, I probably would not have gone to that concert. But I felt very comfortable there, and it was nice. And I was up in the balcony, and so the balcony, there's not a lot of people up there, which is very nice also, because floor seating in that venue is very close and tight together, and I always felt very claustrophobic down there. But anyway, yeah, I sat up there and I knit the entire time through the concert. So here is my hat. And the concert was very good, by the way. If you like Al Stewart, like Year of the Cat, Time Passages, he did a bunch of other songs that I didn't know, but Bill probably would have known. Bill really would have liked to have been at that concert, but anyway, he could not. So I went. But this is the hat. So this is, here, I'll get the yarn out. I literally grabbed this like as I was ready to leave because this hat was too close to needing to decrease, and I didn't want to try to fuss with that while I was at a concert in the dark and also trying to keep notes for a pattern I'm writing. That just didn't seem like a good idea. So I went in and looked on my shelves real quick, and this hand spun was already wound into a ball. I can't remember if I had used it for something else, or I think I was going to use it for something else and then tried and then ripped it back out because there was a bunch just wrapped around it. I don't remember how old this is. I don't remember. I know it's hand spun that I dyed the fiber for. I just don't really remember anything else about it. So no clue what fiber it is. I am fairly certain it is probably not superwash though, because I have never really dyed very many superwash fibers ever. And I definitely have not done that in recent years. So anyway, but yeah, I just cast on a hat. I used the same stitch count as that other hat. Like the size that I've done a lot, 96 stitches, and I did a 2x2 rib, and then I just went into stockinette. I didn't do any patterning on this, and this is definitely a lighter weight yarn than DK. It's also a little thick and thin. It's not like the most consistent spinning, so I went down needle sizes. I used a 4 for the ribbing, the 2x2 rib, and then I used a 5 for this. I probably actually could have gone down to 3s and 4s. Sorry, my throat's dry. I'm hardly talking because I'm home alone by myself. My throat's not used to talking. Anyway, I could have probably gone down even one more needle size, but I think this will be fine. It'll be, a little drapier than it needs to be. I'm trying to look because with light, can you see? Like, yeah. I think maybe it's just a reflection on it. There is a little bit of a shine to it. I don't know what I don't think there's silk in this. I think it's probably just like a BFL or something. I don't know. It's pleasant. Oh, you see, yes, you can see through the fabric. I just caught a glimpse of that like through there. I'm almost positive you're seeing through the fabric. I don't know. It didn't seem that open to me when I was knitting it, but I was also knitting it in the dark. Whatever. It'll be a hat. I'm considering having this be my April charity hat, but since I don't know if it's superwash or not, I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know if that's a good idea. What do you think? Like, do you donate non-superwash things? I mean, I guess I could put like a tag on it. Say, hand wash only, dry flat. That seems a little sketch for something that's going to be a charity donation. Excuse me, see? Shouldn't be drinking beer. Okay, anyway, but I'm knitting it nonetheless. Maybe it'll just be a gift. Yeah, see, it's here whenever my shirt is behind it. Then you can see through it. So it is a little bit open. Okay, so anyway, that is my hat that's on the go right now. And I don't think I've really worked on it since the concert. I don't think I have. I did finish this, obviously. I actually finished this on Saturday. The kids came up and we were hanging out and watching a movie, and I finished that while I was watching the movie. So anyway, that is it as far as fiber works, fiber arts, fiber crafts. That's it. Those are the only two things I have worked on, I think, since I talked to you last. All those things I said that I was going to do while Bill was away, spinning, weaving, haven't done any of it. I have been painting and I have been drawing so much. It's been bringing me so much joy still. I want to thank those of you who responded to what I had said in the last episode, where I said I didn't really know how much of this I wanted to share with you guys, or how much you guys would really want to hear about it, because it's not fiber related. And so many of you were so kind and were like, it's your podcast. If you want to talk about it and tell us, feel free to do that. So yeah, So I've been painting and drawing more. Want to see some things I did? I actually, this is so funny. I told Bill on the phone one night, I'm like, hey, I've been doing like a lot of my little paintings. And I said, I'm going to have to set up a gallery and have like my own gallery for when you come home. And he was laughing. He thought I was kidding. I have them all over the refrigerator like I'm a 5-year-old. I'll have to take a picture and put it in here when I'm editing. But anyway, yeah, the little ones, all my tinier paintings, they're hanging on the fridge. Meanwhile, I've been doing some bigger ones occasionally. This one I did. So the artist that I mentioned last time, Diane Antone, I think she's the one who does all the whimsical creatures. And so I had watched one of her bird videos, and so I wanted to do birds. And so I did this one and this one first. And then it was in the evening. I've either been painting like first thing in the morning or like later in the evening. And so it was later in the evening, and Bill usually calls me around anywhere between 7:30 and 8:30 his time when he's traveling. And it was getting late, and I hadn't heard from him yet. And I was starting to get anxious. And so I just kept drawing birds and painting birds. And so I got how many here? 5, 6, 8. 8 birds. And then he called. So it's probably good because it would have gotten awfully crowded in that picture if I had to keep painting more birds till he called. It had just been a long day for him. There wasn't anything wrong. But anyway, yeah. So those are my whimsical birds. And here's a whimsical bird. Okay, so this was somebody else, and I can't remember what her name is. I will put it in the show notes. But anyway, she was doing a paint with me video about chickens, doing chickens, and I'm like, I want to do chickens. And so I was following along with her, and this one's a rooster, but like this was the one that I was doing with her instruction, okay? Hers looked really good. Mine, like you look at it and you can tell it's a rooster, right? Because it's got the little red things and it's got the big tail and all that. But it looks like some sort of crazy AI created rooster when you look at it, because like what's going on with the legs? Like which direction are they going, and why is his head and neck facing his outer thigh? Why are his little chest speckles on the side of his thigh instead of his chest? These are questions that have no answers, other than the fact that I do not know how to do roosters, but it was fun to do. And so then I went and I used this concept of how to do birds with like blobs of paint and tried to apply that to doing a rooster. And I ended up with this, and honestly, I feel like he's got the same problem going on there with his little chest speckles on the side of him, and he's like everywhere. So there's my 2 very, very wonky roosters. I mean, they're fun to do, but they're kind of crazy. I have to bend over because I just dropped everything else. Oh, it was only one other piece of paper. This was another Diane Antone inspired piece that it was, another paint with me thing. And she was doing like these horizontal stretches of color and then embellishing on them. I went my own way with the embellishments, but it was fun. It's fun to just try different stuff. So there's that, and then there's all the little ones on the fridge, which I will have either put a picture in already or I will. What else? Oh, I've been doing little pictures in my little tiny book here, my little watercolor book, which I'm not actually watercoloring. I'm still just doing the alcohol markers. I can't remember which ones I showed you, but these are the ones that I've done, and they're super fun. These are like the Zentangle-y kind of things. I haven't been doing as many of those, but when I do them, I am having a good time with them. I don't remember which ones you might have already seen, so sorry if these are repeats. I think I might have just done that one today. No, that one wasn't today. Oh, this one was today. It's not my favorite because it's not really bright colors. I really love the bright colored alcohol pens. So yeah, that's all that's in there. And what else have I done? Did this. Did I show you this one already? That's like really bright, huh? And this one, that's really bright. I totally mucked this up immediately upon trying to do it. So then I just totally went a different way because that was actually supposed to look more like that little one that was in that book. But the thing is, like when you goof them up, you just go a different direction and it's still fun. So anyway, so then in the process of like cleaning stuff out, I found some other sketchbooks that I had and I forgot about. And so I also found pencils. I forgot that I had like pencils that you use to draw like the softer lead ones and everything. So I got my one sketchbook out and I started like, oh, you can't even see that. That's like just a sketch of like a mushroom. It's really light though. You can't really see it. What else? Oh, and this was, I don't know what that was. Oh, that was me trying to figure out what the different leads were like on the pencils because I had no idea what 2B and 2H and 4H and stuff like that. I didn't know what that meant. Now I do. Yeah. So anyway, I was just doodling. I'm not great at like realistic things. Like that looks kind of wonky, but you know, you can tell what it is, right? Oh, and then I did this half a butterfly. I have a thing about drawing just half of a butterfly. And one of the other sketchbooks that I found, there were 2 pictures in there that I had done several years ago now, where I just did half of butterflies. And the one had a whole bunch of doodles in it, kind of like this, but different doodles. And then the other one was just the half of a butterfly that looked more like a butterfly would look with a sunflower behind it. And it was just in pencil, so it wasn't colored in, but my daughter, who is a tattoo fanatic and has a lot of tattoos. She told me one time, she's like, hey, you know, I would love to get a tattoo of something that you've drawn, you know, if you ever want to draw something and I'll get it. And I'm like, right, okay, yeah, I'm not that kind of an artist. I don't think you want to get a tattoo of something I'm drawing. But then when I was going through that book, I found those butterfly butterfly sketches. And so I sent them to her. I took pictures of them and sent them to her. You know, I texted them and she's like, oh, I would love to get one of those as a tattoo. And I'm like, oh. And so she did. So this is the one that she got done. I'm not going to share the actual tattoo picture just because it's hers and I don't want to cross boundaries there. But, and then the day she was getting it done, she's like, hey, can you like on a piece of paper write like love mom and you know whatever else you want, like love mom XOXO or whatever. She goes, I want to put that along the straight edge side of the butterfly and the flower. And I'm like, oh. And so I did, and it's there. And so she got it like up here on her arm, and so the part where it says love mom is right here. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm in your armpit. She says, no, you're close to my heart. I'm like, oh, okay. That's better. Anyway, I just thought that was super funny. So that's sweet. I mean, that's better than like selling a painting. Having one of your kids want something that you've created on their bodies, like that's so cool. Anyway, so there was that. Yeah, so lots of arting going on here. Okay, I'm gonna take another sip of beer because my mouth's getting dry and then I'm probably gonna burp again. All right, so aside from the painting and the drawing and stuff, the other things that I've been doing are the house projects that I wanted to work on while Bill was away. The biggest house project that I wanted to absolutely get done was the red cabinet that's in my office. And I am going to record a little bit of that and show it to you, but I have to wait till tomorrow when there's more light. It will look horrible if I try to do it now. But I have this big red cabinet. It used to be the entertainment center at my old house. And when I moved up here, it just became a big cabinet, lots of storage. And then when Emma was living here, you know, she had a lot of stuff in it. And then when she moved out, I got to put stuff in it, but it was never organized. And it was a lot, because it's a big cavity inside in the lower part, it was just, there was a lot of empty space, you know, wasted space that wasn't easy to use. And so I had told Bill that I wanted to, well, number one, I wanted to repaint it because it was really looking kind of beat up. But I wanted to put in a shelf in the bottom that would pull out, you know, like a slider shelf that I could use as a workspace, a worktop. And then I also wanted to put in supports to put in a fourth shelf. Like the cabinet itself came with 4 shelves when we bought it. So there were 3 in the top and 1 in the bottom. For whatever reason, I stopped using one of those at some point. I think it was probably when we were using it as an entertainment center. Well, it had always been an entertainment center, but I think we just had a very small TV when we were first using it. Anyway, 1 shelf hadn't been being used. So I wanted to put that in there so I would have 3 shelves in the top, 1 in the bottom, plus add the slide out shelf. So, I mean, I bought the wood for it. I planned this. I like engineered how I was going to do this. I ordered the little slider things. And so that's what I worked on I just finished it yesterday or the day before. I'm trying to remember when I think yesterday. Yesterday was when I got it put all back together. And it worked. It's great. I am so happy. It's not perfect. Like my paint job isn't perfect. I'm sure my installation of things was not perfect, but man, I used all my power tools, cutting and screwing with the drill and I did all the painting. I took everything apart, the doors and everything, and I did paint it upstairs. You know, there was no way to move that big cabinet out of my office, but it worked out fine. I had plastic down. I'm so happy with how this turned out. And so today I finally got things organized and put back in the cabinet, and that slide out workspace, that's going to be my painting area, because I have been painting out here at the dining room table, but once Bill's home, this isn't going to be a prime spot. And that's the whole idea of that workspace. I wanted to have something I could pull out, have stuff on it, and then when I'm done, just push it back in, close the doors. So yeah, I am so happy with how that turned out. Just have no idea. So anyway, that's done. And then the organization that was necessary in that process, that is also done. I found, oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Hang on a second. Hold on. Okay. So I was finding all kinds of interesting things while I was going through that stuff. And one thing I found was, well, not just one thing, like 4 or 5 boxes of ribbon. I don't know who needs as much ribbon as I found. Like satin ribbon, curly ribbon, all kinds of ribbon. I have told everybody I know, like, if you need ribbon, like, don't buy it. Just come to me. I will be your source, because I will never use all this ribbon in my entire life. Anyway, but I was also finding, again, like I found like sketchbooks that I forgot I had and different things like that. But then I found these, guys. Do you remember these? My button project? I don't remember how many years ago I started this now. Was this like a pandemic project for me? Was it pre-pandemic? I don't remember, but I'd had these button projects. So I started out, in case you're new, I had these little embroidery hoops, and I put, the light color fabric in one, the black one in the other one, and I was sewing buttons from my button stash because I've got tons of buttons. And these are like my vintage buttons in, the creamy and white colors, and then these are the mostly black, although there's some sort of brownish and bluish ones in there too, I think. So anyway, I did the button part, but I thought, it looked really open because there was all those spots between the buttons, and I didn't have any tiny buttons to put in there. And then finally, I think it was actually one of you guys who said, hey, why don't you put beads in there? Because I was trying to figure out what to do. I think I was thinking about like embroidering or something, but somebody recommended beads. And so I did beads. And when I found these, the white one I had already done. I had put the beads in between all the buttons. So this one was finished. This one just had the buttons. So that very night, can you believe it? The same night, I went and I sewed buttons all over that. And it's so funny because look, there's like a greenish bead, or I sewed beads on it. I'm sorry, not buttons. Buttons were already there. So I finished it, and then I even cut the fabric and did this kind of weird finishing on the back. I'm not really sure if that's a thing or not, but that's how I chose to finish them. So now I have my two little hoops with my buttons, and I think my original plan was I was going to do a third one to complete the series with like a rainbow of buttons, like all different colors. And so I want to do that now. I'm not sure what color fabric to use for that though, because I don't want to use a multicolored fabric because I feel like that would take away from the color of the buttons. So I have to think about that. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, I'm so happy that these are done, and these are going to hang somewhere. They may hang in my bedroom. I might put them in our bedroom, not my bedroom, but or they might go in my office. I don't know. We'll see. But I was so excited to find those and remember, oh yeah, I had that project and now that part of it's finished. So yay. Okay, let's move on. We're going to do the Choose Your Own Adventure Make-Along prize winners now. Okay, so this is our make-along that's going on all year long. You're welcome to join in at any time. I will link to everywhere where you can find information about the make-along. But basically, you are choosing your own adventure on this. You decide what you want to do this year and work towards it. But I am doing winners quarterly. And so we have the January, February, March winners to announce. For your prizes for this first quarter, I decided that I am going to offer up a set of the expanded Inversibles in the color combination of your choice from the 5 that I'm offering. And they will be on the bounce base, and I will include a bonus mini, for you to be able to have a contrast mini for heels and toes or whatever. So if you are one of the winners that I'm going to announce, please go to the shop, look at those 5 options that you have, and then email me at lisa@fibronymdyeworks.com and let me know which colorway you would like, and I will dye that up for you and get it sent out to you. Okay. So chatter winners. In the first 3 months of the make-along, we had 1,038 chatter posts in the chatter thread. You guys are chatty and I love it. So random number generator chose post number 714, who is Pepper RN, and that is Pam. Congratulations, Pam, for being the first winner of the make-along for this year. Yay! Finished objects in those first 3 months, we had 51, well, okay, the first post was mine. So we had 50 finished objects in that first quarter, and random number generator chose finished object post number 21, which is Will Travel for Yarn, and that is Maya. And she posted a pair of socks made from my This Day We Fight yarn. That was my suicide awareness colorway, suicide prevention awareness colorway from last year. Anyway, so congratulations, Maya. Your socks look lovely, and I can't wait to send you some yarn. And lastly, on Instagram, there were 87 tagged posts with our Instagram tag, which is FDW Adventure 2025. I remembered it. And random number generator chose number 72. So I counted down to the 72nd post, and that was one by Endless Stitches by Sarah, who is Sarah. And she had posted, it was a post from January 10th, and it was a sock in progress. So congratulations, Sarah and Maya and Pam. I am so happy you won this first quarter. Again, please email me which expanded Inversibles colorway you would like, and I will get that set dyed up and sent out to each of you as soon as possible. So congratulations. I will do another round of prizes in early July for April, May, June. So, and one of my things I wanted to share is, one of my adventure goals for this year, again, is trying new recipes, specifically recipes that are gluten-free. I'm trying to expand that area of my cooking repertoire, and I made myself a recipe for dinner tonight, actually. They were Thai peanut noodles, and they were really good. I love peanut sauce. I've done other recipes like that before, or I've tried and just sort of winged it without a recipe. It doesn't always turn out great, but these were actually really good. The sauce was a little on the runny side. I'm not sure if it's because I didn't measure my peanut butter, although it's unlikely that I put less peanut butter in than I needed. I would probably have overdone it with peanut butter because I love peanut butter. I think what it might have been was the recipe called for natural peanut butter, which I think tends to be a little thicker from my experience than, say, Jif, which is what I use. So maybe that is why, because I know I did measure the right amount of water and soy sauce. And yes, I do know soy sauce contains wheat. It's not enough to usually bother me. Sometimes I do use tamari, which actually I found out can sometimes have a little bit of wheat in it. Usually it doesn't, but you still have to check. If you want to make sure you don't have wheat in something that's soy sauce like, you can use liquid aminos, which I've used all three of those for years anyway, even before the gluten thing. Liquid aminos don't have quite as strong a flavor as either tamari or soy sauce. So it's all personal preference. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. So that is everything, and I will link that recipe in the show notes too, in case you're interested. It was very good. You can throw like whatever you want in it, vegetable-wise. The recipe actually called for it was a cold thing. Like you cook the noodles, but everything else was cold, including the veggies, like they were uncooked. It is really windy here tonight, and our roof is a weird construction that when the wind gets under it, it makes a lot of noise, and it kind of freaks me out sometimes. Anyway. Yeah, it was supposed to be cold, and I was like, that doesn't sound good to me. So I went ahead and I sauteed my veggies a little bit just to give them a little bit of softness. But I threw like a whole bunch of stuff in. I had like asparagus and onion and mushrooms and bell pepper and carrots. What else? I feel like there was something else. I don't know, but it was really good. And then I used brown rice noodles and the sauce. So I have leftovers, so that's exciting as well. Anyway, that's really about it. I don't even think I have any other life stuff to tell you because I've pretty much told you what's been going on. It's been projects, and dying. So yeah, it's been good though. And art, lots of art. So anyway, I'm going to go and I will finish up the recording of the cabinet in the morning, and then I can edit and put this all together and hopefully get this up by sometime tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. And I will close out this one exciting life thing. Today, being April 7th, is my grandson's 20th birthday. Y'all, you OGs who remember when he was a little guy, he is now 20. 20. Yeah. Just so you can feel old along with me today. Anyway, wished him happy birthday. He's a great kid. Anyway, all right. I'm going to go. I will talk to you again soon. Again, thank you for watching. And my members, thank you so much for supporting me here. I couldn't do this without you guys. And I will talk to you again soon. Take care.